Aló, buenas tardes.
Buenas tardes.
Buenas tardes, César. Eh, Sugeriste que la pregunta que planteé fuera por Zoom
Mm.
cuando te escribí por WhatsApp. ¿Me escuchas?
Sí, te oigo.
¿Sí? Ya. Bueno, voy a entonces a leerla para darle un breve contexto y escuchar, o sea, tu visión, ¿no? En una grabación señalas un hecho comprobado por la experiencia directa del autoconocimiento. Eh, y dices lo siguiente: como yo y tú surgen juntos, como sujeto y objeto aparecen juntos, si el sujeto se queda sin el objeto, no puede sostenerse en pie, porque el sujeto es independiente del objeto, a lo que el sujeto se queda sin el objeto, a lo que el pensador se queda sin pensamientos, se sumerge en su fuente.
Ya
Es
va,
decir,
a lo que queda,
la idea de yo soy el cuerpo desaparece. Mi pregunta es, cuando dices a lo que el sujeto se queda sin el objeto, ¿perdón?
continúa. Pero aquí dice
Mi
porque el
pregunta es,
sujeto es
cuando dices a lo que el sujeto se queda, César,
Continúa, continúa.
voy a volver a decir lo que estaba comenzando a decir. Mi pregunta es, cuando dices a lo que el sujeto se queda sin el objeto, a lo que el pensador se queda sin pensamientos, se sumerge en su fuente. Es decir, la idea yo soy el cuerpo desaparece. Lo que estoy preguntando es si esto señalaría a que al quedar la mente como mente pura, mm, entre paréntesis, samadhi, al menos temporalmente y en, en lo mejor, de manera continua o permanente, se entra en un estado de no diferenciación, no dos. La identificación de la mente con el cuerpo se diluye o desaparece, el espejismo o el espejo, y se devela por la gracia, lo siempre presente, yo o yo soy. ¿Es así, César?
Dame un segundo para leer tu pregunta aquí de nuevo.
Uh-huh.
El cuerpo es un objeto, no es un sujeto. Pareciera que fuese un sujeto. El objeto se sumerge, se funde con el objeto, quiere decir que Los pensamientos regresan al pensador. ¿Qué es un pensamiento? Y luego ese pensamiento desaparece.
No,
No sé si me explico. No sé si me oyes, no sé si me explico.
la señal no me ha llegado bien. No sé si es solo mi problema o es una cuestión más allá de mí.
Ah, debe ser de tu lado, por aquí aparentemente mi conexión es buena. Vilma, ¿me oyen bien? Sí.
Oh, oh,
Sí, de tu lado se escucha entrecortado.
Que tiene un problema Tirso, que también se lo escucha medio cortado por momentos.
Ahora, no sé si me escuchaste la respuesta. ¿Me oyes?
sí, sí escucho, pero lo escucho entrecortado. Voy a asumir de que es de mi lado, ¿no?
Apaga la
Pero si se ha
cámara.
grabado, entonces la...
Apaga la cámara porque es que no
Ok.
sé, a ver si mejora. A ver, di algo para ver.
Te escucho mejor, sí.
Ok, sí, déjala apagada porque para que consuma menos cantidad de internet. No sé si
Ujú.
escuchaste la respuesta y no sé si quedaste satisfecho con la respuesta.
En verdad, César, no llegué a captar nada porque se cortó casi todo lo que dijiste, pero si está grabado no hay ningún problema.
Esto señala a que al quedar la mente como mente pura, samadhi, al menos temporalmente, a lo más de manera continua o permanente, se entra en el estado de... Samadhi es el estado mismo de no diferenciación.
Ujú.
No dos quiere decir no existe una segunda entidad independiente o separada de la conciencia. No, no existe la conciencia y el mundo, o la conciencia y la manifestación, Dios y la creación. La identificación de la mente con el cuerpo se diluye, desaparece el espejismo o el espejo y se revela. Sí, sí, es que a lo que nos vamos a la elaboración, la pregunta puede ser más complicada que la respuesta.
Bueno, escucharé tu respuesta
Pero
y
no,
si
no,
tengo...
entiendo ahora. ¿Quién es el sujeto? Yo, ¿verdad?
Ujú, ujú.
O quiere decir cuerpo. No sé si me sigues porque tienes la cámara apagada, ¿verdad? Ok.
Sí te sigo, sí te sigo.
¿Quién es el sujeto? Yo, César. Este cuerpo es el sujeto y tú eres el objeto, ¿verdad?
Ujú,
Si la atención cae en el yo, el objeto desaparece, no el objeto como tal, el concepto.
ujú.
Y el sujeto, al quedarse sin objetos, el pensador, sin quedarse sin pensamientos, desaparece. Es decir, el pensamiento yo soy el cuerpo desaparece porque se hace evidente la presencia de la conciencia y de que uno es esa conciencia.
Ajá, entiendo,
¿Sí?
entiendo.
Tal de no ponerlo tan complicado ni tan rebuscado.
No está bien, o sea, es bueno, era un momento en que recordaba cosas que habías dicho en otros contextos, como la soga y la cuerda, el espejo y el espejismo, ¿no? O sea, en distintos momentos y situaciones que tú usas para explicar, pero está bien, o sea, lo voy a escuchar de nuevo, pero me queda clara la figura, ¿no? O sea, ahí la palabra clave es que no desaparece el objeto, sino eh, el concepto.
Puede que no haya conciencia, que pierdas conciencia de cuerpo. Si no hay conciencia de cuerpo, no hay conciencia de mundo. Aún así, habría conciencia de uno mismo, habría conciencia de ser. En este caso, conciencia de ser consciente.
Ujú,
La pérdida de conciencia de cuerpo no es necesaria para que se produzca el autoconocimiento. Con que se pierda la identificación con el cuerpo es suficiente.
bien.
Ahora, aquí donde dice que el sujeto es independiente del objeto, me extraña que hasta yo haya dicho eso.
Está en una grabación y lo tengo transcrito, ¿no? Entonces, lo puedo leer de la misma transcripción, ¿no?
Porque el sujeto es independiente.
No, 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 no. A ver, cuando yo te hago la pregunta ya no te estoy citando. Cuando te cito te pongo entre comillas.
Sí, correcto, pero aquí dice el sujeto y objeto aparecen juntos. Si el sujeto se queda sin objeto, no puede sostenerse en pie porque el sujeto es independiente del objeto. No, lo que quiere decir ahí es que el objeto y el sujeto son lo mismo. A lo que el sujeto se queda sin el objeto, desaparece el sujeto.
Bien, voy a esperar de de la traducción, ¿no? O sea, para poder
No, pero
leerlo con tranquilidad.
no, en ti, no sé, en ti tienen mala memoria o no ponen atención o que tienen que estar repitiendo un millón de veces la misma cosa. Conceptos básicos son súper claros. El pensamiento yo es el pensamiento yo soy el cuerpo. Desaparece el pensamiento yo, desaparece la idea de yo soy el cuerpo. Se deja de pensar o de creer que se es el cuerpo, porque se sabe de manera directa que se es conciencia. ¿Me explico?
Sí, César.
A ver, ¿qué entendiste?
Bueno, en mi proceso de autoindagación, ¿no? Y de aprendizaje, sobre todo intelectual,
No, no,
¿no?
de lo que yo
Lo,
acabo, ¿no te acuerdas?
la verdad no, porque son maneras de expresar que, o sea, yo a veces no las capto directamente, inmediatamente.
Y el sujeto, aquí pregunta el niño, ¿por qué el sujeto es independiente del objeto? Al contrario, el sujeto aparece como identificación con un objeto. Yo soy el cuerpo, por lo menos, por lo tanto, el sujeto es dependiente del objeto con el que se identifica. Por eso me llama la atención, no sé si la grabación está allí, ok, está bien, pero aquí cuando se dice que el cuerpo es un objeto, entonces el sujeto sería la conciencia. Esa es otra forma de ponerlo también.
Ujú, claro, eso es lo que yo entiendo. O sea, simplemente que, o sea, hay ahí una transición, ¿no? De cómo al retirarse la atención, ¿no? Del objeto, ¿no? Hay, o sea, un paso, ¿no? Hacia lo que es, por decirlo así, ¿no? Porque no es necesariamente así, o sea, pero, o sea, una vez que se retira la atención del objeto y se mueve al sujeto, y al, o sea, entrar, ¿no? En una situación en la que no hay pensamientos o tendencias o condicionamientos, al menos temporalmente, entonces, o sea, la mente o ego, ¿no? Se diluye o se sumerge en su fuente, que es la conciencia. O sea, eso que llamamos sujeto, ¿no? O sea, se, digamos, vuelve a su fuente.
El falso sujeto, el falso ser, falsa conciencia.
Correcto. Sí, así lo entiendo, así es. Y evidentemente que en los pocos momentos, o sea, en los que he experimentado esa explicación intelectual, me doy cuenta y confirma, ¿no? Lo que es la explicación, ¿no?
Sí, que tu propio conocimiento directo confirma lo que es la explicación.
Sí, sí. Y lo que veo es de que esto fue una conversación con una persona española y fue casi al final, ¿no? O sea, lo que puedo entender también es que el problema no es ni tuyo ni del español, sino es, o sea, mi propio proceso de aprendizaje y de experiencia, ¿no? Más allá de lo que es lo intelectual, ¿no?
Muy bien.
César, y hay una cosa más no sé cómo decirlo, puntual quizás, este, porque hay distintos sinónimos, si se puede decir, ¿no? Por ejemplo, o distintas palabras. Cuando se habla de sujeto, también se puede estar hablando de ese yo aparente, ¿no? O el pensamiento yo, o el ego, o la mente, o las tendencias, improntas, condicionamientos,
No,
conglomerado de pensamientos
no es lo mismo.
que
No,
tienen, perdón,
todo eso son sinónimos.
correcto, correcto, que tienen como raíz el pensamiento yo, pensamiento raíz, es decir, todos los pensamientos más el pensamiento yo.
Todo eso colectivamente, el ego.
Ajá, ujú, sí. O sea, se me va aclarando la cosa conforme, o sea, por un lado lo voy escuchando y por el otro lado lo voy percibiendo a través de, o sea, la experiencia, ¿no? Entonces, ya no es un mero juego intelectual, ¿no?
Muy bien.
Muchas gracias, César.
A orden. Herminio, aquí dices, aquí creo entender que el sujeto es el pensamiento yo, correcto. Los objetos, todos los demás pensamientos, sí, correcto. Hablas de la mente y su movimiento, correcto, sí, correcto. Mm.
César,
Ah, perdón, te cerré el micrófono por error. A ver.
sí, es muy puntual y es lo que ha acontecido en este momento a nivel de sensaciones, ¿no? Ah, y la manera como lo he percibido, ¿no? Es de que al haberme tú preguntado, ¿no? O sea, bueno, ¿qué has entendido? ¿No? Y antes de eso, o sea, sentía como que estaba entrando a un horno, ¿no? O sea, y en una cierta situación de tensión que la percibía en el cuerpo, ¿no? Lo cual me hacía sentir, ¿no? El cuerpo muy nervioso, ¿no? Entonces, me pregunté hace muy poco, ¿no? Bueno, ¿a quién le está sucediendo esto, no? Entonces, me doy cuenta que eso puede ser resultado de algún tipo de condicionamiento o de tendencia que aún está arraigada en el cuerpo o en la mente, ¿no?
Ciertamente, sí.
Ujú. No, ese era nada más, o sea,
Cuando se somete el ego a prueba o se le reta,
Bueno, voy a bajar mano, César, gracias.
Ok.
Hola César y hola a todos. Em, Hoy estaba contemplando que experiencia y conciencia son inseparables, ¿no?
Mm.
Y lo único que los separa es el pensamiento yo soy el cuerpo.
La experiencia necesita un experimentador.
Mm,
Y el experimentador es el ego.
mm,
Yo soy César y yo estoy teniendo esta experiencia.
mm.
Si la idea de ser César, el cuerpo, desaparece, la idea de tener experiencia o experiencias desaparecen.
Ok.
El hecho de que la conciencia, valga la redundante, sea consciente de la ilusión no quiere decir que la experimenta, porque experimentar implica dualidad. ¿Mm? Sujeto,
Ujú,
objeto, alguien que experimenta algo. ¿Mm?
mm,
Ahora, lo que tú creo
mm.
quieres decir es que no existe nada separado de la conciencia, básicamente. ¿No?
Ajá.
La existencia del sujeto y el objeto, el experimentador y la experiencia dependen de la presencia de la existencia de la conciencia,
Ujú.
que sería el testigo de ambos,
Ya, sí.
cuando en realidad es uno, sujeto y objeto son el mismo pensamiento. Yo estoy experimentando esto, eso es un hilo de pensamientos, ¿eh?
Sí, sí.
O digamos un collar de pensamientos que tiene como hilo que une los demás pensamientos, el pensamiento yo.
Ujú, sí. Vale, con eso es suficiente.
Mm.
Sé que se me hace grande, pero lo voy viendo. Mm. La conciencia no experimenta, simplemente es,
Y es la totalidad.
y es la totalidad de todo.
El hecho de que sea consciente del cuerpo no quiere decir que lo experimenta.
Ya eso no lo entiendo. Si es consciente, no sé, no entiendo que no lo experimente. Tal vez no lo experimenta como un pensamiento,
No, porque
como,
la idea de ser el experimentador no te permite concebir la posibilidad de que que no haya experiencia.
ujú,
Mm. Entonces,
ujú,
sobrepones la idea de
ujú,
experimentador a la conciencia. El pensamiento yo se sobrepone a la conciencia.
ahí, eso es.
Mm.
Mm, mm.
El placer y el dolor, porque eso se resume en todas las percepciones. Son
Ujú,
o agradables o desagradables. Básicamente eso.
sí,
El calor es desagradable y el fresco es agradable, ¿cierto?
sí.
Y lo agradable y lo desagradable no son diferentes del cuerpo.
ya, claro,
Y el cuerpo no es diferente de la conciencia. No está,
agradable.
no está separado de la conciencia. Al no estar separado de la
Ajá,
conciencia, entonces no se podría decir que inclusive que hay conciencia de algo. ¿Me sigues?
no, se me queda muy grande.
Si no hay nada separado de la conciencia,
Sí,
por lo tanto es la conciencia. ¿De qué sería consciente la conciencia? Si
de
la,
lo que se mueve,
si
por decir algo.
la mente y sus trampas. Esta es la taza, ¿verdad?
Ujú,
Digamos que la cerámica de la cual está hecha la taza es la conciencia.
sí,
Si la taza no está separada de la cerámica, entonces no hay taza, solo hay cerámica. Si solo
ujú.
hay cerámica, ¿qué otra cosa podría conocer la cerámica? ¿De qué podría ser consciente la cerámica?
De sí misma solo,
Correcto, correcto.
de sí misma, pero eh, mosca, humano, mar, percepción, la conciencia, ¿no? No sé, conciencia es conciencia. Vale, es conciencia en la mosca, es conciencia en el humano, por poner, es la misma conciencia. Entonces, la experiencia es solo para la mente,
Correcto.
para el yo. Ya,
Si no hay mente, no hay experiencia, solo conciencia.
ya, sí, vale. Mm, vale, me quedo ahí porque si no es mucho para mí. Prefiero quedarme con este pequeño, con este entendimiento.
Bien.
Gracias.
Tonka.
Cesar. I wanted to discuss with you what happened in the last, well, basically yesterday. It's hard to be present and do the inquiry when you're chased by your problems. I got an email from the bank yesterday and I got upset, and the whole day I went down with a spiral, and I couldn't do, like, my brain refused to do any inquiry. I couldn't do anything yesterday, like literally anything. And but it lasted for a day. And so at one moment I was like chastising myself, you're so weak, you're so lazy. And as I'm going over this in my mind, I noticed all these things that we think about ourselves are just thoughts, but they get so deeply ingrained into us that we think it's our personality, right? It just, what's happening in the moment, it's not who I am, right? And I'm just checking with you if this is, if my discoveries are okay. And then I noticed that this process of like observing ourselves, or it's always going on. Like, whether we do the inquiry or not, it's just that our attention is on the experience, on what's going on at the moment in our life. But it's always there. It's always like aware of what's going on, right? It never it
Awareness,
even when I'm
awareness is unbroken
yes
or ever present. Yeah.
yes, whether we do it, so it's an ongoing process. It's not something that we produce by the inquiry. It's just something that we shift our attention to.
Something that we become aware of as I by the means of inquiry, correct?
Yeah, and it's and like, maybe in the beginning, where we first shift our attention to it, then it produces like an effect. But in time, this like, you don't get so excited about it or whatever, but it becomes more and more like, I don't know, like we constantly shift our attention a bit by bit, and then it becomes normal. You know what I mean?
Becomes permanent and it becomes effortless. So self-awareness or awareness of being the self becomes permanent and effortless.
Okay, because it sometimes it seems to me like I'm not doing it right, because no, nothing happens. Like nothing. Yeah, I think I'm like expecting now some tada moment or something.
How what you are cannot happen because it's
Yes.
not an event or an object, something objective, a phenomenon that is going to happen. See? So what you are cannot happen.
Yeah, I see that. However, in like sometimes it produces this exhilarating, feeling. And I think I might be expecting that again, and it not happening seems to me like I'm not doing it all right. But maybe not, because when I look like of this level of peace that I have acquired that dropped down yesterday, it's becoming like more permanent. So maybe I am doing it all right.
Yes, it's not more permanent. It is ever present. It is already permanent. What happened is that when the ego arises again, it covers it. And the ego, when it arises again, claims to be the experiencer of it. So now it wants to experience it permanently when it was not there. When this silence, this background, this consciousness got revealed. So we have to move from knowing it to be it. We are it already, but we think we know it because we think we are the knower. And the knower obviously is Tonka. I can see it, it's there, right? Oh, it's gone. Oh, now it's there again. Let me keep quiet. It is there. Then I get the email from the bank, I read it, it's gone. There is only the bank, the problem, and the rest of it. There is nothing else is there, right?
Yes, there's nothing else there. That's true.
And when the attention goes through the senses, right? Outside, right? It goes outside through the senses, right? Then the mind appears, thought appears, and then the thought covers this silent background, silent, conscious, alive background, because it's not dead, it is alive. Has to be alive.
Yes, that's what I noticed later, even when I was upset, that there was this like silent awareness, only the mind wasn't aware of it, like the mind was in the problems.
Yes.
But it was always there, yeah.
The moment comes that you are permanently aware of being the self, even if the mind is busy, even if you see something, think about something, or whatever, right? And being the self, which is unaffected, then you are no longer bothered by thoughts, its quantity, its quality, physical sensation, if it is pleasant or unpleasant, perception, see the surroundings or the environment or the circumstances, if you are this or that. We are not bothered about that.
Yeah.
Because
right now sorry.
It's like when the ego is gone, the show must go on, right? The show must go on. It's a saying in the theater.
It's like it seems like I'm right now moving between two. It's like two planes. There's like this everyday like physical plane where things and problems and everything happens, and there's this like silent, like maybe observe, like this different plane, feels like it's a higher plane.
Yes.
So feels like it's a higher plane.
Yes.
And then I can see like my attention moving like up and down, and if I'm up, then I'm peaceful no matter what's happening on this lower plane. I'm like sailing. I'm sailing smoothly, and then I drop down, and then I forget about the other plane.
Means you forget yourself.
Yes.
It is self-awareness makes us avoid self-forgetfulness.
Self-awareness
Brings self-awareness. If there is self-awareness, there is no self-forgetfulness. So you forget you are the self and then think again that you are Tonka and all its experiences, issues,
Yes.
life, problems, circumstances, success, failure,
Yeah.
this and that.
Right now I'm a bit all over the place, all over the place. But sometimes like my head is above the water, and then I sink again and I go up and down. But the more I spend like the more my attention is in this, I don't know, this it feels like it's empty, it's quiet. And the more time I spend there, the more peaceful I am with anything that's happening on the lower plane.
Now I try to understand now that you are not spending time there. You are that which is there.
Yes, yeah, but that also changes depending on where I am. Like I still feel like I'm, this Tonka thing at all times. At all times, I'm still like, I don't know. It's a bit confusing at the moment. Still, like, like who the fuck am I? Like, am I? Yeah.
Because this particular circumstance is keeping the ego present, right? As identical with the circumstances, see?
Yes.
Identical. There is
Like it was. Sorry.
there is a problem, and I feel myself identical with the problem, right?
Yes. Yes. But it was so much easier, like when I was in Thailand, and I had no problems. Everything was going like, at least in the outer circumstances, things were doing fine. I was walking up to the big Buddha through the forest and everything was nice. And
circumstances were pleasant.
Yes, yes. And it was much easier to keep the attention in the right place. But now it's a bit of an uphill battle.
That's the whole point of spending time together. Now is this technology, right? That we can have access to talk about this subject with someone who knows about it is so handy. It save you the money to go to having to cross the world to go to India or to wherever that person is, right?
Yes.
And imagine that you can access to it twice a day, 5 days a week. So the whole point of these meetings is that you learn how to deal with it when the circumstances are not that pleasant,
Yes.
right? They are more.
Yeah, I joined the call last night, and then like after the call, everything like really, really calmed down from that. It was
Because again, it's very simple. See, more we understand this, which is in reality, it's very simple. Our minds are complicated.
Yes.
And then we complicate it. We listen something. We cannot even hear what I'm saying. So many people say, okay, I'll get it. People want to hear me saying what they want to hear, and I can't. And they keep what they think. and avoid the answer, discard the answer. See? I stay with my idea, with my understanding, whatever that means, and which is a wrong interpretation. This is why they don't move forward, right? So it's very simple. The attention goes outside. Even if the bank, you don't have the bank in front of you, you don't have the computer, the email is not open. But as soon as you're thinking about it, that also means the mind is outside. The
Yes.
tension and the Mr. Ratanlal used to say, enchanted, we find this world irresistibly charming. So enchanted by what we see, we forget about the seer. Meaning by the seer, in this case, the self.
Mm-hmm.
So as long as we stop being self-aware,
Yes.
the circumstances are going to be there. Nothing is going to change. Or it might, perhaps. I would say even luckily, hopefully, right? But it may not.
Yes.
But it is the thought about it what causes the problem. It's not even a problem because it's the thought is the one that says it is a problem.
Yes, depending on what kind of thought you have in reaction to the problem, is that it's the thought that produces everything, not the actual thing.
So the I thought disappears means I am Tonka and this is my problem. So I am consciousness and this is it. Right? So we see things as they are, plus not separate from ourselves, because we cannot separate oneself from anything. So as consciousness, one can say that you are the pleasure and the pain. See, you are what is comfortable and uncomfortable. It's not separate from you. You cannot separate yourself. The sense of separation is created by the mind. Mind means again, I am Caesar, and that is the situation. So for me to experience something, I have to be other than something, right? Because this is happening to me. There is this and I experience this, right? I, and this is mine. This is me, this is I, and this is mine. My problem or my success or my failure or my whatever it is, I and mine.
Yes. And the mind is so like it's fighting for survival, you know. It's problem, it's unpleasant, but I see like trying to drag me back into the loop, you know.
It will rejoice in the suffering. It will roll.
Yes.
It will roll over the thing. It's like a pig. It will roll over the dirt, right?
Yes.
And then
Yes.
you don't. Then the dirt and the pig becomes one, right? This is me. So the mind is rolling all over its own thinking, just to survive as me, who
Yes.
happy me, unhappy me, sad me, successful me, failure me, sufferer me, poor me, whatever, right?
Yes. Because then it's in control. And it's
appears to exist and appears to be in control. It is not even there, it's just a bloody thought.
yes. And it's and yeah, just wants to keep the thing going, whatever it is, just to survive. It's amazing that something that doesn't even exist has such a strong will to survive. It's
Yes.
really incredible. But now in time it gets easier and easier to see it and drop it. Right?
Yes. More you understand what the mind is, more you understand that the mind is not. I mean,
Yeah, it just yeah, it just feels like it feels really like made up. It's all made up. Like, and you can just, if you can see it, you can just like drop it. I mean, it's not always that easy, but it loves problems, yeah. Okay. That's it from me.
for me, I would say, no, it was easy because I was already so detached when I went to India. I mean, I could eat anything, I can do anything as a as a means to sustain myself. I could sleep anywhere. I mean, it was okay. So, because of my education plus my life experience, I could be with royalty or I can be with somebody in a township. So I could move up. It was easy, right? So there was whatever, right? There is certain amount of freedom in poverty.
Yes, when you have nothing to lose,
But it has
then it's
nothing to,
easier.
yes.
Then it's easier to surrender. Yes, but I
Yeah,
feel this. Yeah. But maybe this particular situation that I'm in is maybe it's more challenging.
so
But the more I look,
the I is trying to protect what is mine, right?
yes,
Yes. Or trying to give continuity to what is mine, or even to get rid of what is mine if it is not. This is a egocentric movement. This is a movement of the mind which is centered into itself as the ego. When the ego is gone, the movement of the mind is completely different. It's merely functional, pragmatic. It's just
yes, and it's more efficient.
correct.
That's what I notice when I like when it calms down. Then I do, even though like I'm afraid if I will be able to do anything, but actually I'm more efficient. Yeah. What you doing?
That's why more we understand the simplicity of this knowledge, right? The I thought disappears. Oh, how is that? Understand what the I thought means. I am the body means you stop thinking that you are the body because it becomes obvious that you are the self, right? So people imagine that it's something that will appear and disappear and I will see it. All that is the problem, the wrong interpretations of the seekers because they are incapable for some time to get this knowledge straight away. Why? Because they're hearing their own interpretation or they reject this and keep their own ideas. Yes.
But it happens like at one point, like you get the hang of it, like, but not intellectually. You can't get that.
I mean, there is a moment that you are not thinking, including that you are not the body. Everybody experiences the self in the interval between two thoughts, but it is not clear. It is forgotten because body identity grabs, and the body identity is so strong that there is forgetfulness of perhaps a brief moment of no identity. Because to think I am the body is more of a habit, right? But I am,
Yeah, and a strong habit.
yes. Everybody experiences the self in the interval between two thoughts, but it's not clear for everybody, right?
Yeah.
And these life circumstances are your best friends because it forces you to inquire, to detach yourself from the situation, not to escape from the situation, right? Not to hide from the situation. You will have to deal with it somehow, right?
Yes.
But to detach yourself from it, so to see it from a different perspective.
Yes.
Anyway, all that will go on automatically, right? In the meantime, you will remain as you are. Life is the unavoidable. Not even consciousness can avoid it because what happens, whatever it is, however it is inseparable from consciousness. So consciousness cannot free itself from anything because there is nothing separate from it that consciousness can possibly free itself from. So these ideas of bondage and freedom and liberation, they are also thoughts. See? It is all thought. I, you, he, she, it, this, that, birth, death, free will, karma, destiny, I don't know, bondage and liberation, reincarnation, all that. It's nothing but thought. Everything gets reduced to ashes. Meaning by that, it is all thought. Being thought, it has no reality whatsoever. Even the most, what can be qualified or classified as objective thinking, it becomes obvious that it is subjective. Because you can say this is a microphone and it is black and it is soft, but the microphone is not saying so. This is not saying I am a microphone, I am black, and I am soft. The world doesn't say, nice to meet you, I am the world, right? I am here, and I'm going to make your life miserable or pleasant. Who is saying so? I, see? It's I that says that there is a world, and that it is like this or like that. So I and the world are thought. Therefore, none of them exist. And you can bring into the picture God. I, the world, and God. They don't exist because they are thought. So you have a human body, you have a human brain, and because of that brain structure, the world that you perceive, which is interpreted by your brain, appears to you as such. So the world that you know being interpreted by the brain means an interpretation of the brain. It is already subjective. It is subject, right, to the brain structure. A dog, a cat, a fish sees a complete different world.
Yes, that's, yeah,
Then,
the best.
then
Yes,
what,
I see that.
then what world is real, right? So how can you, what you think about the world be objective when that world is per se subjective? Objective thinking. What do you mean?
Yeah, did you know the video that I've sent you? Remember the quantum physicist who has proven theoretically what you're saying. So quantum physics comes to that the world doesn't exist before without our perception.
The seer is prior to, if there is no seer in this context, if there is no consciousness, there cannot be anything because there must be a seer. Without a seer, how can anything exist? Without the presence of a consciousness, how can there anything? How can there be anything?
And there are people who claim when they connect to the self, they can influence what the consciousness creates.
Yeah, but then you bring the mind there because you want to influence in a particular way. You want,
Yes.
and that must
Yes.
therefore that must be a preconceived idea, and that by itself denies the very theory that the changes of the pattern of behavior of the particles happened randomly. There was no control. See, it was spontaneous. This is why it's called quantum leap, because it is not predictable, right? That change was unpredictable. It was new. In that experiment, the observer is very strange because the observer is the mind. In this case, in the absence of the observer, which gives continuity to the structure of the observed, or the one that tries to influence the observed to become something. If this observer is not there, then a quantum movement takes place, which is unpredictable, right? That is a step into the unknown. When new forms of behavior can enter into the world, right? I don't know if I am making any sense to you.
Yes, yes.
Okay.
It's interesting to listen to what they are saying, because what this physician explains that he studied this phenomenon, and he says my brain cannot understand it, but the evidence is there, and he's very confused about his own findings, and he said I'm 100% sure that it's that, but
So
still.
even there, the fact is there, but the mind says, I don't understand it because he can't see it. See, because he sees only its own belief, its own preconception, its own theories, so what I cannot see. So, and there is no ego, there is consciousness, and there is what is. So we begin to see what is as it actually is. It is as it is, and it's not separate from oneself. Means it's neither good nor bad, nor it is the way it is. And consciousness also it is as it is. Okay?
Yeah, I try to look at it, but then my mind goes empty. like it's strange. I'm trying to like understand what you're saying. I'm trying to look at it, but then the mind goes like totally blank, and I'm like, beep, beep, beep. Nothing there.
Good.
Like I'm trying to look at something, but it's not. There's nothing there. I don't know how to. Yeah.
What we are looking for in the inquiry is the mind. More you look for the mind, less you find it. Because when you look for the mind, thoughts disappear. Mind is thought. So mind disappears, thought disappears. So how can this self be real? If it appears and disappears. But there is some, but I remain. The mind disappears, but not I, not me.
Yes. Yes. It's more like a feeling I rather than a thought I.
You can call it feeling, but it's okay. Call it whatever you like, it's fine.
Yeah. But it's still the thought I. Yeah. Right now at this moment it feels quite empty. It's very strange. Like I'm looking at nothing at this moment.
Yes, but you now forget about the nothing. You are the observer even of nothingness.
Okay.
Don't let go of the observer until you will find that the observer is the self, not the body.
Yeah, okay. No helicopters outside today.
No, they stopped.
Okay. Thank you, Cesar.
You're welcome. Alina.
Hi. Cesar, you often says, look at yourself, look at yourself. But if I look at myself, it means that it's already not myself, because I can not look. If I look at something, it's automatically not me.
But if you look at yourself, there is yourself there, no? Do you exist or not?
Yes, I do.
So, so yourself is there. What you have to see is what yourself actually are. We look at ourselves under the impression of being the ego, right?
Mm.
And then we look what the ego, I look to see who am I, right? Then we look at myself. By looking at myself, the idea of being the ego disappears, and the knowledge of being consciousness becomes clear. So the one that is investigating disappears in the investigation. I mean, I, as the investigator, the inquirer, the seeker, the person, the mind, the individual disappear. But I, as the self, remain.
You know, like last few days, it feels insane because it feels like you look in kaleidoscope and you try to fix the pattern, and the next moment it changes and it changes and it changes.
So
And so I'm the kaleidoscope.
the observer changes or is the same?
Observer is the same.
Then,
What of it changes?
then between the observer and the observer, who are you? So you are enchanted by the scene, by the observed, and then, oh, it changes and it changes. Who cares, right?
Yes.
Who is the observer? What I want to know is myself. Now, you are seeing the changes as the ego. This is why it freaks you out. Because you want the observed to remain the same. Meaning by that, the way you like it. Just please, life don't change because now you are so nice. So please stay like that. Okay? My body also, I want to stay like this. I don't want it to become old. Right? But the observer change. And the ego freaks out because it loses identity with a particular form, right? So, no, this is not me, this is me, right?
Mm.
This is why I want to keep myself nice and fit and flexible and young and circumstances also in a particular way, because this is me. My identity is based on that. My sense of self is based in identity with that. So when it changes, I lose myself, right? I cannot see myself anymore. I don't find myself in this new life, these new circumstances, right? Some people get frustrated, traumatized, and get trapped, right? And they don't move on. The people that move on means they move on to another idea, right? And that becomes the identity, a new identity, right?
Mm.
I lost everything, wife, this, that, business. Now I start a new one, and now this is me again, right? This me is identical with something else, right?
This actually is my question. This is what I'm afraid of. Like I afraid not to die is this, like, because all I see, all those changes is new me, and the idea that it's endless is freaks me out.
The changes are endless. They are going to be, they are infinite. Right? This is why we must ignore what changes. See, what is permanent there? I. Then see what that I actually is, and you will find that it is unaffected by the changes. The self is unaffected by the changes. When you regain your identity as the self, then you won't be bothered by the changes. They still might be pleasant or unpleasant, whatever, right? But you won't be bothered by them. Consciousness is called changeless. See, it doesn't change. It doesn't suffer modifications, right? It's permanent, unchangeable, unaffected. Hmm? So be what you are, and the rest will be okay. Imagine the possibility of dropping the body and be cool with it because I know that I won't die. It will be like, I don't know, taking the sweater out and removing your clothes. That's not painful. Right?
I don't afraid to die. I'm afraid not to die.
Not, are you crazy? You cannot die. You cannot not die. What you want to die means you want a particular situation to come to an end, or you to disappear for you not to experience that particular situation, right? It's basically that is fear. This is what depression does and procrastination does, right? I don't want to know. See, I want to die. It means I don't want to face this. I don't want to deal with this.
Mm.
All these changes. This world that we live nowadays, which is absolutely insane. Whatever you see is conflict, whatever you see is war, whatever you see is crisis, whatever you see is a problem, economy, the people. Oh God. Am I making any sense?
Mm.
I mean, am I addressing your issue? Hmm? Yes or no?
Mm. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sometimes it seems like some understanding is there, but once you explain yourself that understanding is there. It's vanished because you spoiled it by saying it, by claiming that you understand something.
Yes.
And you cannot not tuck in because it's also not up to you, you know, just tuck and tucks itself, think and thinks itself. And it's not up to you to stop it when it just flows by itself like a stream. And sometimes like I see that I'm not the stream, I see the stream. But next stream is just like flashing me away. Sometimes when I speak to others, I see people like talking dolls, you know, and it's scary and funny at the same time because like I'm see and like how do you speak? There's the body lives itself, its life, like it's breathing, but how you can possibly speak something or listen something or respond to something and think that you are this at the same time, you know?
Why you so much philosophy? Why?
I don't know, I freak out this week like crazy. And you know, like you last week, I don't remember which day you spoke to Tonka at night, and I re-listened those dialogue because I don't remember, or I was not quite listening, or it was night and I go sleep, I don't remember. And in the daytime, I was listening to it, and uh, I was not kind of busy, but I get really exhausted of it. Just like all my energy just flows away, and I was like, okay, go sleep. And I go sleep in the middle of the day and still thinking about what you have spoken. And then I go to sleep, I fell asleep, and then I split into the one who is sleeping, the one who is dreaming, the one who is still thinking about what you talk to Tonka, and the one who see all this. And I was so exhausted when I go sleep, and then I woke up still exhausted because like mind just drives me crazy, and I was like, gosh, I don't know.
Because you want to control all of it, or you want to understand it.
Yeah.
You are consciousness. Consciousness is just a witness. The witness doesn't do anything. It just witnesses. It just is. And it is unaffected by all of it. For you are seeing all that as ego, as mind, as person, as individual, right? Filtering all that by your own, you're filtering thoughts, by the means of thoughts, right? And the intellect and the rest of it is exhausting. The poor body gets exhausted, right? And the body is not to blame.
Okay, Cesar, thank you.
¿Sí?
Yeah. You know, my mind gets calm, but some irritation is still there, but I see the irritation.
Mm. I see the irritation. If you see the irritation as what you actually are, then you are not irritated by the irritation.
Mm. Mm.
Like a screen of a cinema show. You don't get wet by the water projected on it, and you don't get burnt by the fire projected on it. Then anything can come and go. Sí,
Mm.
debe estar en el cuarto, papá.
Yeah. Okay, thank you.
Okay.
Oh,
Good.
Hola César, ¿qué tal?
Bien.
No. Quiero que me digas si voy bien o ya estoy pifándola. Em, cuando yo todos estos días estuve absolutamente fascinada con la presencia de Alma, pero llegó un punto, ayer, que me di cuenta que el observador estaba, porque yo estaba fascinada con la presencia de Alma. O sea que el observador continúa. Entonces me pregunté, me hice la pregunta, ¿no? ¿Quién está, quién encontró a Alma?
Ah,
Y bueno, obviamente me di cuenta que yo. Y bueno, ahí me encontré con digamos, con un conflicto y no sabía cómo seguir. Entonces, no sé por qué, se me ocurrió releer la entrega de Ratan Lal en El ego y el ser. Y bueno, me dio toda no sé, me surgió traspolar ese observador interno a mí, a mi cuerpo, al cuerpo. Y entonces, si yo traspolaba ese observador interno, el cuerpo desaparecía y solo quedaba alma. Si no hay cuerpo y no hay objetos y no hay un alma objeto tampoco, solo queda alma.
correcto.
Hasta ahí lo vivencié por experiencia directa. Pero aquí, y me doy cuenta que te lo estoy contando, y si te lo estoy contando es porque todavía hay alguien. Y entonces el cuento de la buena pipa nunca acaba.
No, no. Se acaba. La idea de ser el conocedor del Atma desaparece. Y el conocimiento de ser el Atma permanece. Por ahora puede que se intercalen o se intercambien, ¿verdad? Se alternen. Pero eso, el observador experimentador, conocedor de algo afuera o adentro del mundo Atman desaparece.
O sea, de aquí en adelante, ¿qué hago? Me quedo cada vez más quieta.
Correcto. Mientras más quieta te quedes mientras más tiempo permanezcas quieta, más se va haciendo claro de que eres Atman y no el ego, el individuo, personalmente que ve o que conoce al alma. O sea, la idea de ser el conocedor desaparece y el conocimiento de ser lo conocido, eso es autoconocimiento, ¿sí? No el conocimiento de algo, es autoconocimiento.
Te hago una pregunta, porque en esta experiencia que traspolé, digamos, el observador interno a mí misma, a mi realidad, y que me di cuenta que todo, nada existe, que todo es conciencia, que todo es conciencia. Te pregunto, ¿qué pasa con el espacio? El espacio también es realidad ilusoria. Eh, o sea, tampoco existe el espacio.
Realmente no, aparentemente sí. Aparentemente sí, aún así no aparece separado de la conciencia, no existe separado de la conciencia.
Claro.
Ese es el primer elemento, éter,
Ujú.
aire. De hecho,
Bueno,
éter, aire, fuego, agua, tierra. Primero el éter, luego el aire, luego el fuego, luego el agua y luego la tierra.
César, en esto que te digo que experimenté, que todo es conciencia, como si estuviera en una pecera, no sé, todo es conciencia. Eh, eh, vos decís que me quede quietita nada más, que no haga nada.
Correcto.
Bueno. Yo te voy a hacer caso porque siempre te hago caso. Bueno, soy una alumna un poco, no soy de 10 pero, pero Ratanlan en la entrega dice que hay que ser obediente. Bueno, César, gracias.
A la orden.
Chao, chao.
Ok.
Gracias, César. Entonces, la consciencia, que es la taza, porque hoy estamos hablando mucho de lo que la vida mueve. Entonces, con el ejemplo de la taza, la consciencia, que es el barro de la taza, si ese barro se moja para hacer otra cosa, digamos, para hacer una jarra, si ese barro cambia para hacer una jarra, cualquier cosa, la conciencia no es consciente de ese movimiento, simplemente es la conciencia, no experimenta el movimiento, simplemente es la conciencia en el movimiento.
Correcto. No es consciente del movimiento como si sucediera fuera de sí, aparte de sí, independiente de sí.
Yeah,
Es decir, hay un aspecto de la conciencia que es inamovible y el otro pasa de dinámico a estático, pero en
yeah,
esencia la conciencia como testigo es completamente estático.
yeah. Es
Inamovible.
como
Inamovible. El otro es estático y
inamovible,
dinámico. Estático y dinámico. Sí,
la mente.
sí, la conciencia está más allá de lo estático, de lo dinámico, de la dualidad, más
Ya,
allá de todo concepto, correcto.
ya, vale. Gracias, César. De ahí que podemos ir por la vida encontrando ese eh, paz que no se mueve con pase lo que pase, porque no, no, la conciencia es consciente de lo que pasa sin ser afectada por ello.
Correcto,
Pero, ah,
correcto, correcto.
mm, vale, muchas gracias.
Muy bien. Mm. Ok, nos vemos entonces a la noche. ¿No?